Hi, we will be talking about the rise of modernism facilitated through technology, that's presented by Michael, Ben, and Mia. Firstly, we will need to talk about modernism. The rise of modernism in interior architecture began in the early 20th century. It is the beginning of the change from having an abundance of ornaments in households for decorations to a more simple design approach. Form follows function. The technology has a huge impact in the rise of modernism in architecture as it allowed new materials to be manufactured and machinery introduced for new possible designs due to the Industrial Revolution. The heavy machinery was born and interior architecture was heavily impacted by the new possibilities of materials and form for the new designs. It has been the engine of modernity, shaping it and propelling it forward. By Bray. In different parts of the world, such as China, architecture was heavily influenced by the political affairs during the mid 20th century. Architectural design approach was directly shaped by the official policies and dramatically shifted from one extreme to the other in accordance with the dynamics in the ideology and politics. An architect from China, Huang Hong, was inspired by architects such as Le Corbusier and Mies van der Rohe. Huang was influenced by the works he had seen through magazines, and from there he noticed the works from the modernist masters, bringing the inspiration learned from one region of the world back into China in hopes of making a change. In a wider perspective, modernism started as a cultural movement that included art, architecture, and literature. Functionalism was heavily focused on in architecture. Architects such as Le Corbusier and Louis Mies van der Rohe, both from different backgrounds, were impactful on the new design approach of form follows function in the rise of modernism. They believed in creating spaces that were not only beautiful but also practical and efficient. Technology also played an important role in the rise of modernism as it opened up brand new possibilities and opportunities for designers, which will be talked about a bit more by Mia later on in the presentation. After the World War, the social changes also had an impact on the rise of modernism as the need was to have more housing as soldiers are returning from war. The technology has facilitated in the production of multiple houses at once as the Industrial Revolution allowed higher speed of production for the required materials and also parts for assembly a brand new home in a short amount of time. Technology advancement allowed a new shape and form to be trialed and built because of material manipulation allows for new designs whereas before was not possible. Examples of modernist materials such as reinforced concrete, steel frames, curtain walls, and ribbon windows, in which will be discussed a bit more in detail by Ben.
Politics was one of the catalysts of shaping the modernism movement, not only in terms of art and architecture, but also a worldwide movement. As modernism emerged in the late 19th century, while there were many political events such as wars and revolutions were occurring at the time, other political movements rejected the historical style of art and wanted to express new ways of art and art style. One of these movements was colonialism. After World War One and World War Two, many countries wanted to rebuild a new identity, both to put the war in the past and have a fresh start, as well as rebuilding damaged buildings. Many governments offered to help fund the creation of many of these modernist projects, anywhere from small homes, apartments, and large office buildings. Governments offered to fund the projects, and it symbolized progression and the idea to forget the war past. For example, the USA pushed for more modernist buildings as they believed it symbolized democracy and capitalism during the Cold War. As well as wanting to rebuild, countries like the USA, Russia, and Germany pushed for more urban planning and modernization, which called for more architectural and artistic styles and ideas to be created. New policies surrounding housing and transport gave architects endless opportunities to create wild while functional designs. Many Western countries moved towards a more social democracy after World War II and became welfare states, meaning that due to this policy reform, there was a new standard of living. Other countries, such as India, used modernism projects like Le Corbusier as a symbol of independence and movement away from their colonial pasts, representing them as a new country and not relying on any other country as they have in the past. Newly created material technologies were not only used to build while in the modernism movement, but to reflect the state of a country's identity, building the new modern look of the world. During the time of modernism, there were many advances in construction materials. Plate glass, steel framing, and reinforced concrete revolutionized architecture at the time, while still being used today. Due to these advancements, it enabled buildings to be taller, more transparent, as well as having open aspects, which was a complete opposite of the historical style that was seen in the past. New modernist styles went for a more functional design, especially from the use of plate glass, such as what is used in the Crystal Palace. New aspects of the building, like curtain walls and prefabrication, were shifted to be made on an industrial scale. Le Corbusier, Tatlin, and Miss van der Rohe are some examples of architects that use these new materials in their experimental modernist designs. Exposed concrete, steel, and cantilevers became common to be seen in many of the new emerging buildings. Unlike the political aspects of modernism, many governments commissioned architects to start creating buildings as a reflection of industrial progress. Buildings such as the Eiffel Tower and Palais des Machines used the new industrialized glass and iron to create large technical buildings in a way to show off their own country's strength and achievements in the now modernist world. With the introduction of prefabrication, the cost and time it took to build homes dramatically reduced. Modular construction and standardization were seen more as buildings were created with a visual uniform design.
Technological forces. Modernism has shifted the world's design, enforcing the use of technology to create designs, and transformed our creations. As the world has continued to evolve, people's needs have changed, and designs have further developed to accommodate people's new lifestyles. Le Corbusier, in 1923, states that a house is a machine for living in. Technology assists designs to have further detail and adds another aspect of how we can define designs. Nowadays, the most used online software is AutoCAD, which allows designers to design quickly and efficiently with its high performance. AutoCAD has allowed designs to be further complex and test the geometry of designs. For example, Zaha Hadid's use of technology developed her architecture by first-hand drawing her designs and then publishing them in online software to see if they were possible geometrically. As well, designs can be tested to ensure they have a reduced use of energy and comply with the surrounding climate and ensuring that they are safe. Architects now consider many characteristics to ensure new structures suit the location and consider ecological factors. This includes ensuring new spaces accommodate the site's climate, using online software capable of testing a building's durability while also retaining ecological conditions and site-specific weather data. The development of machinery has advanced, allowing more detailed and new shapes and lines to be made. For example, the Hermes molded plywood chair was modernly and functionally designed through the inspiration of digital software. The chair was made with plywood and molded using heat and pressure to create its smooth and curved structure. Further advancement in the creation of materials and the use of technology has further enhanced and detailed our designs. Economic forces. The revolution of economic forces has also adapted and adjusted over time to suit the needs of the modern world. A key part of modernism is affordability for people. As there has been further development in machinery and production materials, there has been spikes in costs. This issue has been slightly resolved by mass production and the construction of residential buildings that accommodate many families. Mass production of homes became pivotal during post-World War II era, providing military families with practical and comfortable living for an affordable cost. In recent years, the development of creating homes through 3D concrete printing has been encouraged. This quick and effective software is cost-effective, and the use of sustainable materials has modernized the world of building. Finally, the power of electricity was used to operate home appliances, and they were promised to be cost-effective and efficient. Overall, the rise of modernism was particularly due to the advancement of technology but was influenced by geographical, social, political, material, and economic forces.